Broadcasting from various countries around the world using voice over IP technology, this is VoIP Uncovered, a VoIPon Solutions UK podcast. I'm Kathleen Reed. Joining us today is John Bennett, Managing Director at snom UK. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the more recent updates happening at snom. Thanks so much for joining us today, John. In 2011, the snom 300 and the snom 821 were the first SIP phones to be officially tested and qualified as interoperable with Microsoft Lync. And recently, you've announced that your new Apollo firmware has become certified for use by Lync as well. What does this mean for your market?
It's quite exciting for snom at this time. Our 3 Series range and our 8 Series range are currently going through what's called qualification with Microsoft. So, for anyone out that doesn't know what this means, there's 2 Microsoft interoperable partners, which is one's qualified, one's optimized. The difference between those are essentially that snom have the privilege of using their own hardware and their own firmware in conjunction with Microsoft Lync and OCSR2. So an optimized device, let's say, would be a third-party vendor's plastic using Microsoft internals. So essentially it would be a Microsoft phone but with another vendor's logo on the phone and their plastics essentially. So it's quite a privileged position that we're in to be part of their program that's been named the 3PIP program, Third Party Integration Program. And what that basically means is that we can create our own phones for the future so that if we do need to upgrade them, it is literally a flash of firmware onto the phone, and that allows you to then future-proof your devices. So, for example, you touched on the Apollo firmware. What this means for us is that in the future we can essentially upgrade any of the firmware on any of the snom phones in the 300 range, the 370 range and the 821 range, so that you can then take advantage of the features of Microsoft for the next versions. So you could upgrade from OCSR2 to Lync and from Lync to Microsoft's next version, which will be released in 2013. So from a customer's point of view, that's fantastic. They can then save on having to buy new devices if they need to take advantage of new features. They're not tied down to an existing piece of hardware if they choose snom. It's very exciting from us from a point of view of we can then future-proof the customer's deployment, which is obviously going to be in the customer's best interests.
Okay, fantastic. Now let's talk a little bit more about the snom 7 series phones, the snom 720, 760, and the snom 710. I hear they are now officially released. What can users expect when looking at these phones?
Sure. Well, the 7 series is now live. We launched the 710 this year in September at our distribution event. So you can now readily catch the 710, 720 and 760 from any of our authorized distribution partners globally. The reason we've launched the 7 series is that we wanted to have an entry-level phone with a new look and feel. So our 3 series has been around for 8-9 years for some of our phones now since we first put them out there. So we've upgraded the phones from a technical point of view. The hardware looks and feels like a new type of phone, so it's very similar to our 8 series, but it also packs a punch in that we've upgraded the internals on the phone for a faster chipset. All phones come with HD voice handsets, so you get high performance audio quality, and also those phones are due to be going into the Microsoft program for qualification very, very soon. So you'll be able to buy our 3 series, 7 series and 8 series for Microsoft qualification. Hopefully, I'm told our roadmap looks like end of November. You should be able to buy 7 series on that platform.
So what's next on the roadmap for snom?
snom's roadmap now, we're looking to work closely with BroadSoft partners, and now BroadSoft certified for our phones to work on their platform for certain versions. Depending on which phone you choose, there is a firmware available that will allow you to work with BroadSoft. So this was passed in September of this year, so they're now live, and we're looking to move forward with any BroadSoft hosted providers that are out there. So there's hundreds of them globally. From a Lync point of view, the 7 series is in for qualification, so hopefully very soon we'll have 7 of our phones on the Microsoft third-party integration qualified program, which is great for us. And also we're looking to embrace closer our partners that we work with on the open standard SIP front. So any of our run rate business that we work with partners daily on our snom certified engineer program course, we'd like to embrace those guys, bring them in, train them, and do our best to grow their businesses with them through the snom phones.
Okay, great. Now that we've talked a little bit about your roadmap, where do you think the market in general is headed, in your opinion?
I think that the Lync market, from a global perspective, is quite a slow burner. It does take time. A lot of these deployments are in the hundreds of thousands, so we have projects now that have been open for 2 to 3 years, but they do involve several thousand phones in even the smallest cases. So from a market point of view, I think that Lync is going to be a huge growth point for us for the next 10 years. It seems to be getting some traction in the marketplace. We've got a lot of high-profile customers that are involved, so that's very exciting for us. I think that will open up very, very soon. There'll become a point where a lot of these open projects will close. We're focusing our attentions on some very high-profile vendors that have got a nice footprint in the marketplace and have existing users that we can utilize and move over to Lync. So that'll be one of our focal points. I think that the BroadSoft market is growing very, very quickly. We've seen a lot of take-up now for hosted customers, which is very, very exciting for us. And I think that the market's forever growing. We're showing profits again this year of between 20 and 30% so far. So that's good news for us. Hopefully we'll continue to grow with our SCE partners, our snom certified engineer partners, and we'll embrace every avenue.
I really want to thank you for your time today, John. It's been very informative. John Bennett is the Managing Director at snom UK Limited. This has been a VoIP Uncovered podcast, brought to you by VoIPon Solutions. For more information, please visit www.voipon.co.uk.